another week.
Hello.
And it's a new month.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Well, what
May.
day was it? Today is the 8th. So last Monday was the 1st.
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
complaining about the
Oh, yeah,
trip to the
Bank
bank.
of America.
Yes,
Yeah.
on the first
Yeah,
day of the
yeah.
month. So I cannot believe. So we passed Cinco de Mayo. So did you do anything for Cinco de Mayo? This past Friday? What was that, Friday?
I didn't. Normally, like, me and my friends would normally go and do something, but I don't know. It wasn't
Not this year. Yeah.
Nah.
It's the stuff is just rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rolling on up. Like I've been working, so I ain't do nothing either. But then I was just thinking, I thought Mother's Day, because people talk so much, like especially at church, like First Baptist, you know, Queen Esther, they was talking a lot about Mother's Day. So I had in my mind that Mother's Day was this past weekend. And I was really like Friday, Saturday scrambling, like thinking I gotta get a gift. And then I was so relieved to remember that it was this Sunday. I'm like, okay, great. I got some time.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I ain't got nobody's gifts, no cards, no nothing. I was like, Lord, what am I going to do?
Wow. And you have sisters that have
I
children.
have sisters. I have nieces. So I have a godmother.
I got one mother.
That's what.
Mother, grandmother.
You don't got a god? Oh, mother and grandmother.
Oh yeah, my aunt. I normally do get her a card. She's my godmother too.
See, that's what. I
don't do all of this.
That's what I was. I was thinking I might have to scale it back this year. Like, I don't know. Pockets is kind of tight. All these moms, and I ain't on my moms, you know.
We're going to go to brunch.
Okay.
That's what we're probably
That's what y'all planning to do?
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to all the moms out there, though, listening, you know, and watching. Like, shout out to all the mommies. So, yeah, so I have, like I said, so 2 of my nieces. One of my nieces is a first-time mom, though, so I kind of do want to get her something. You know, she just had my great-nephew in November. But, you know, so 2 of my nieces have babies, my 2 sisters, you know, then my mom, and then, like I said, my godmother. So it's like, gosh, and I'm still, you know, I'm just super auntie. That's just, they need to get me a Mother's Day card, because I'm like a variation of a mom. Shoot, I don't care what they say. But, yeah, so anyway, it's been a good week, though. So you said you're going to brunch. My parents, they don't want to do nothing. So I'll probably just go see my mom on Mother's Day and take her little gift and, you know, meet up with everybody else throughout the week. But last year we did go to Red Lobsters for Mother's Day, and my mom actually came out for that. So that was pretty nice.
Going out on Mother's Day is the worst. It is the absolute worst. And I thank God that I have a mother who understands. Look, nobody wants to be in these lines.
So she don't expect you all to take her out.
Like,
well, do you cook? Do you cook for her?
I'll cook.
Okay, you know how to cook? You cook good?
Oh, girl. I close down when I feel like it.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll cook her a nice meal sometimes?
Sometimes, but not normally on Mother's Day. It's just sometimes my mother's so simple. She be like, let's just order curry out. And we'll order curry out.
That's
I
nice.
can't remember what we did last year. I want to say we may have went to North Carolina last year, or she went to North Carolina and I stayed here.
Okay.
That's probably what happened last year.
Is that your family? You got family in
my
North Carolina?
grandmother's in North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what my parents
So I think my mother
too.
went there and I stayed here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I haven't been to North Carolina in so long with this crazy up and down work schedule. But that's where my parents are from.
Oh,
and so
really?
I still got aunts and, you know, uncles and cousins and stuff down there in North Carolina.
Part?
Most of my family. Rocky Mount, Enfield.
Oh my gosh, that's where my grandmother lives.
Really?
Rocky Mount.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I think they nice. They nice at Rocky Mount. So I think one of my cousins is supposed to be coming from North Carolina. I think she live in Greensboro though, or Greenville. Is there something called Greenville, North Carolina?
I know it's Greensboro, North Carolina.
Okay, I think that's where she live. And she's supposed to be coming up to Newport News because then I got a cousin that live in Virginia too. So, girl, you know, family all over. You know how us black people are. You know, we scattered.
My family is
scattered,
here. Like,
huh?
Honestly,
most of them, everybody is here.
Yeah.
I wish.
My grandmother was the only one who moved away, and that's why she moved away, was so that my family could, you know, get out a little bit. But
okay.
We're here.
Is she good down there? Is she down there by herself? Or?
Yeah, she's actually, I think she just put her house on the market to come back down here.
Oh, okay.
You know, because she retired. She went there. She's been living there for, I want to say, like 12 to 15 years or so. And I guess it's like, you know, she's getting older and wants to be closer to her family. And our schedules doesn't always permit us to be able to go down there, you know? So, yeah.
I don't even think I've driven that far to all the way to North Carolina. That's what I've heard. The drive is
nothing.
I drove 3 hours, and North Carolina's what, 4?
Yeah.
Like 4.5. Okay, so I guess I could do it, but I'm lazy. I'm old. My hips, I'm tall, so my legs and hips start to hurt after I drive for a while.
You gotta have the right car. Like my mother's car is so comfortable when it's a long distance drive.
Okay, what kind of car she have?
She has a Camry.
Okay. It's a new one of the newer ones or older ones?
Yeah, it's a newer. It's a
2011. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's
I can
good,
imagine it's probably comfortable. Oh, yay. Okay, so we done talked about Mommy's Day. Maybe we'll be mommies one day. We'll be saying happy Mother's Day.
I am a mother. I have all these children.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah, with your daycare. You're right. You're right. Do they get you stuff?
They do.
They do. That's so sweet.
Do.
Oh, see? But you know what? So let's talk about that for a split second. As a woman, I feel like any grown woman, because that's just how God made us, to be nurturers and to look. It's almost like any woman, for real, whether she has biological kids or not, is a mom. I feel like in one way or another.
I think that if you are actively in children's lives and you do stuff, then I think that there are mothers who don't deserve to get no Mother's Day.
Girl,
however, we gotta honor them anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, and you should all the time, I guess, and not just Mother's Day. And maybe that's why a lot of these holidays don't. Like, they mean something, but they're not as much. Because to me, I feel like when, like how we talked about Christmas and Easter, when you just living something and doing something anyway, you don't have to wait until a certain day of the year to just blow it all up and, take it all out of proportion. It's like, you honor your mother all the time. You honor your dad all the time. You honor Christ all the time. And so it don't take these holidays, So yeah, I just had to just put that in there because that's why it almost came and gone for me. Because it's like, well, I spend time with my parents on a regular basis anyway. So that's good. That's good. Well, happy Mother's Day to your mommy. Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day to your mother, your sisters,
and my nieces, and my godmother. Girl, everybody. Amen. So tonight we're gonna talk about what is the entrepreneurship? Women in business, women who I guess overcome challenges, So we wanted to, as a current event, am I saying her name right? Tamron Hall. She was at NBC. She used to be a former NBC reporter, right? And then I think this was back in February, if I'm not mistaken. And then the network chose to replace her.
And Al Roker.
Yeah, and Al Roker. And their show, and I think they had pretty good ratings too.
Oh, they had. I think they were one of the top 2 on their.
And he was black too. Al Roker is a black guy too.
Black.
Yes.
He's been around on NBC
forever. Okay, I think does he have glasses?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. So yeah, replace their show, and then was it Megyn Kelly? They decided to start a show with Megyn Kelly by herself, and this was primetime TV, right? Or daytime TV. Okay, just want to make sure I got my story straight, you all, because I caught on to the story late.
Their show goes up against Regis and Kelly. Oh, it's not Regis and Kelly. That's how old I am. Okay, it's not Regis and Kelly. It's Kelly. And remember, and then she had the black guy. Okay. You know what show I'm talking about? It's on ABC.
Okay. I think he's telling us what it is.
But anyway, well, she their show goes against their show.
I think I know. Are you talking about the guy ratings.
with what they got? But he's
sports player,
gone now.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. Now they just replaced him with Ryan Seacrest.
Okay.
Mr. Million.
Okay. So now we getting into the topic, but we're gonna break it back to Tamron Hall because when reading in the article that was just posted earlier this month, about her, it was basically calling it the bounce back, article. Talking about how, even though they tried to replace her, and then I think they wanted to bring her on in the different segments. And she declined it because she felt like, I've climbed my way up this far. You want to take this from me after all the hard work that I put in.
And she found out 1 hour before she was going on the air.
Wow, that she was okay. See,
yeah. That's a sting. That's a big.
That's
sting.
definitely
That's a big sting.
That's definitely a slap in the face.
That's not let's all have a meeting. Let's sit down. Let's talk about this together. Let's strategize together. It almost
sounds personal, right? Like a little.
I don't know if it was personal, but it was I felt as if. sometimes when you are working for these big wigs, okay, and they make all of these big chess moves, you're just a chess piece to them. So it don't really matter to them. They're like, well, we told you, long as you know, we want to keep you on our team, but we want to use you how we want to use you, and you want to be okay with that,
right? Yeah, because okay,
and you're making all these decisions on her behalf and on our broker's behalf as well.
Exactly.
You know.
You know what? Now that because now listening to you say that, are you a being Mary Jane fan?
Yeah.
Don't it sound like what Mary Jane was going through? And so that's gone off of the season, right? If I'm not mistaken, yeah. But I was really enjoying that, even though it was a black woman against another black woman. But even still, just like you said, to see how they would just still go in there and pull Mary from this and pull, the girl that she, was helping her out. And it was just, So I guess, and also just bringing it, so we do this. We doing this right now. This is cool. But just a little background, that's kind of why I wanted to get out of journalism. I used to want to be a journalism major. But then I used to feel like sometimes the thirstiness that some reporters got to go through to be the first on the scene and the first on the story. But then now seeing it just on TV and in real life when it comes to Tamara Hall, the kind of things that can happen in that type of situation. I'm like, I wouldn't want to, be in that anyway. Yeah, I wouldn't want to.
It is very competitive.
Yeah,
you see how competitive the stations are amongst each other. Imagine your own within that own station, like
what you go through doing that,
especially as a black person.
Yeah, I know. That's what. So but now she's on. So she was picked up by I guess a couple different shows.
Well,
according to the article.
I know when she left,
she was going to get picked up. And she's still, and she's such a beautiful woman.
She is such a beautiful woman.
She is really beautiful. So, do your thing, Miss Tamara Hall.
Yes, she's on, hold on, who picked her up?
I know she's, did they even mention Al Roker on there too?
Tamron Hall has signed with WME. Hollywood Reporter has exclusively learned the agency will work with Hall on strategic opportunities involving TV and digital content. She's gonna be good.
Yeah, she's going to be good. And it was like some investigative show, and then I think Deadline or something like that. Dayline News or something like she's going to be on a few different shows. So, and I think she was just in some type of article. Was it Ebony or Essence? I think might also posted an article too about her coming back the way she is. So we just wanted to bring her up, as a part of the topic tonight because we're going to touch on women and how we basically have to hustle, and not to be discriminatory, but especially black women. Like we always have to be on our game, have to bring our A game, have to always have the hustle mindset, and it's just like we just can't quit. We can't get no days off for real. Like no days off. Like no it's just off. So you an entrepreneur. So give some examples of maybe some of the sacrifices that you had to make to keep your hustle up. And starting your business.
Well, for one, you sacrifice time with your friends, time with your family. I know at one point I hadn't gone to no family function in a long time. Oh wow! And one of my family members was really offended. Like years? I'm not gonna say years. It was probably like
some months, maybe.
Some months, like a year and a half or something. Went to like Christmas and I didn't come nothing else for a long, long time. And then my family, that's not normally what I would have done. But it was that period of time where it's like, listen, I gotta put this grind in right now. I gotta focus on that. And
you
sometimes you don't understand.
You said they got a one family member got upset.
Yeah, my aunt, bless her heart. She was like, where you been? Every time my mother would come around, she was asking, not just her, but all my family asking, where's Taisha? What's going on with her? And sometimes family and or friends can take offense to that, not understanding that I work 12-hour days, and then because of the nature of my job doing those 12-hour days it's very emotionally taxing. So therefore, you know, and then it's a lot of things when you're working with children I can't get done during that time. So I have to get done.
You gotta really focus.
You know what I'm saying?
That.
Then I gotta focus on what my plan gonna be for certain times of the year. You know, being in childcare, you have to plan ahead. Like I had to plan back in March and February what I'm gonna do for the summer. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So people not thinking about that. Some things I'm thinking seasonal for the next season. Okay. And then come my vacation. Yes, I'm gonna take vacation. I'm gonna enjoy my vacation. But a part of that is also fall planning. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And I having to get my daycare's gonna have to get deep cleaned and go through all of that stuff. All of that different so it's like, you know, it's a lot of sacrifices. That's a lot to think about, yeah. Okay. It's a lot of sacrifices that you grind for, you hustle for, you know. Okay. So do you feel like, how long did it take? Because now you've been in business. Now don't quote me on it, but it's 10 years total, right? It'll be 10 years at the end of July. Okay. So do you feel like end of June? Sorry. Do you feel like you still have to have those moments when you just grinding and focusing, or do you feel like that kind of tapers off as you start to, you know, really get into it? Because your goals change. Okay. You know, right now my business is going through a reset. So now my goals have changed. Okay. Where I want to go, what I want to do. I'm so uncomfortable where I am right now because my goals have changed. Okay. And I'm so focused on I got to get right there. You know. So a new goal. So setting new goals. Yeah. So, but that's probably a good practice because then you never really get comfortable and become complacent, you know, and then stop growing in your business. Like you kind of always, I guess, want to be competing against yourself, so to speak. Okay, so that's good. And I learned so much from you, you know, because to be an aspiring, you know, entrepreneur, you know, and then I can honestly say I'm really starting to, you know, make changes that I like, you know, and I wanted to touch on that blog that I had mentioned, you know, with the 3 myths about entrepreneurship because, you know, we Christians, right? We are on the show and then hopefully everybody listening. And it's like, you know, we confirmation, you know, so it's just like certain things that I was able to pick up in that article that it was like, oh, like I've been praying about getting better with time management and my money management because I know that those are the 2 things as an entrepreneur you kind of got to be pretty good at if you really want to be successful. So the article was basically, you know, it had 3 myths, you know, that a lot of people believe about entrepreneurship. And the first one was like, it has a quote that, you know, like myth. It says, it takes money to make money. It says, and girl, I'm too broke to start a business. That's the myth, right? See, and so you can talk about that. It says, truth, yes, some money is needed, but not as much as you think to get started. And it says, I want you to take a look at your debit card statement. What did you spend your money on last month? Bills, gas, insurance, food, new shoes, makeup, random trips to Target, right? So that was all a part of it. That was the example she was giving. And so I had to think about that. Like I was just telling you all before the show, I cut Comcast cable off. Now, I'm trying to keep my internet because T-Mobile, my phone don't work good in Waldorf without Wi-Fi. That's like, so that's number one. I have got to have, you know, some internet. And then, of course, that does help with, you know, the business stuff that I need to do. Wi-Fi. So you need internet. Internet for your business. Exactly. But the cable, girl, I was like, oh, see. You know, because them bills inching on up to $170, $180. I'm thinking, that's money I could be saving, putting over here. So now that that's gone, I got a few extra bucks to, you know, put somewhere else. So I was like, so tell me what you think about that quote right there. Just hearing, I'm sure you've heard people say, it take money to make money, you know, and they kind of locked in. Yeah. Because they feel like, they don't have no wiggle room. Those people, when you see them 10 years later, they're going to have the same song. Yeah. I posted on my Facebook, I'm not sure if you saw it, where Steve Harvey was talking about how to make $1 million. You don't have $1 million, and he gave a very, very tangible formula. Okay. Start with $10. You use what you have in your hand. What do you do whatever it is that you do that's so good. He was like, if you cut hair, if you cut grass, you watch children, you teach children, you do whatever it is that you do, you braid hair. Hello, that's
okay. There you go. Hello, excuse me.
Braiding hair. Okay,
I need to get this thing redone from Miami.
So he was like, you take $10 from every time you do that. You do it 10 times, you got $100.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So he was saying you do it each time and you multiply. Then once you get to a certain point, you teach 3 other people.
Yes.
To do this, what you're doing, and then therefore you're multiplying your money 3 times.
There you go.
People talk about these pyramid schemes and all that stuff. Let me tell you something. They have a good thing going.
Yeah, they do.
And it's about
I'm glad you said
mentorship.
Because people just look at it like a pyramid scheme. But my thing is, you still learning business. You still learning how to do business. Yes.
Let me say, I used to do Mary Kay, and I did Mary Kay for a long time.
Okay.
I learned so much when it comes to business in that.
See?
Because
like you said,
so
it's networking. Don't they have like
it's networking,
seminars and coaching
seminars.
and stuff? Yes.
You're talking to people from different walks of life. So much. And then you look at the business structure. How Mary Kay structured our business was very good.
Okay.
And I've done a lot.
Do you still know a lot of some other people that are still in Mary Kay in that business?
I do, but not really in contact with them.
What about Avon? Just real quick.
I've never been into Avon because it wasn't enough profit for me.
Okay.
They just recently went up to 40%, as I've noticed on their commercials.
Okay.
But they were not 40%. I think they were like between 25 and 30.
Because I thought about doing Avon because they sell products that I like. They do. Like a lotion line. It's called Moisture Therapy. Okay. It's really good. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead. You talk about Mary Kay.
But no, I was so Mary Kay is 50% profit.
Oh, that's good. I didn't even know it was that high.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But so that's what in the clip. That's what Steve Harvey was talking about, and I thought about it. I was like, I calculated. I wish I would have kept it in my phone. If I would have had kept $10 from every child that I've had
over the years,
that's $10 per week per child. Girl, I would have already been like
he said, at least 50,000.
So I started at that moment. I just saw this clip like 2 days ago. Went to my account. When tuition and stuff come in, I put that in there. That $10 per child.
That's good.
And that's on the side. That's not my regular, savings and all that other stuff.
That's good.
That's just
smart.
I spend $10 at a blink of an eye.
That's what money. Oh my gosh, you can spend it real quickly. Before you even get it. Like I know it's you be sitting there doing the math for the bills, knowing the check will hit this day, and it's like. Yeah, so it's real quick and easy.
So it does not take money to make money. It doesn't. And especially if you're within the body, you don't need nothing. All you need is favor and you just be obedient.
I like what you put on my Facebook status too. You was like, go for the job that you are not qualified for.
Go for the job you're not qualified for.
Yes.
You know why?
Because I was in my feelings.
Because God wants you to make him look so good.
Yes.
Because everybody be like, girl, she ain't qualified for that. Why she get that job? And that's what you want.
There you go. Favor.
That's what you want,
Amen.
So you don't need money
to make money. Then if you do, just it like I feel like to a certain extent sometimes it does. But like she was saying in the article, what's it worth it? What's it worth to you? Like, is it worth it to keep making up all these excuses as to why you can't grind and hustle and start a business? Or is it, is what you want to do more valuable to you? Like, you got to kind of make some decisions,
I think so more than anything, it takes resources
I agree.
Open a business. That don't mean you have to have the money.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? If you got a friend over here
networking and like partnering,
you know,
because so part of what I want to do is the whole event planning. I talked to you about that and consulting. And then I'm thinking, well, I don't have a whole lot of experience in event planning as in on a big scale. And then it like dropped in my mind like, well, why don't you just hire somebody that maybe has more experience than you do? Once you get started. and then they can kind of teach you, and y'all can just team and do stuff together. Just to start out, just one other person, like just to get something started. You don't have to have a whole staff of people just to start, you know, but you just have to start somewhere. So this is just ideas and stuff, and maybe that's because I don't have cable. And God can drop these little nuggets here in my spirit because I'm a little more quiet now.
But see, the thing is, if you start your company, you can hire people, like you said, that has more experience and more education in the area that you need. Because what they don't have, you have, and what you don't have, they have.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. So if you're the one booking the events and you know you got the strategy, but they may have the experience, you know, but you just don't let them know how much you lack in experience.
There you go. You know? Right. They be coming trying to take over.
I've been there.
You said you've been there. We gotta, you gotta hold that thought there, because remember we're gonna talk about personal and business too. So is that like personal business?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So hold that example. So the next myth was, I work a 9 to 5. I don't have time to start a business. That's the myth. And then it says time management isn't your problem. It's your lack of action with the time that you have.
Because everybody get a lunch hour.
Yes, a lunch hour. Well, I don't get squeeze my lunch here. But I do get free time. I get 2 days off a week normally. Unless my manager's on vacation, because right now it's just her and I that can open and close the store. But on a normal basis, I get at least 2 days off. I had to think about it. Like even before reading this article, I had to think, well, what am I really doing with them 2 days? And you got to just, like, this is some real, like, hello, you know, business owners, future business owners, you got to ask yourself these hard questions. Like, I had to say, what am I really doing with my 2 days? And am I maximizing that time that I have on those 2 days? Like, am I writing the business plan? Am I jotting stuff down? Am I, you know, looking for, I want to do the whole t-shirt thing. Am I looking for places now, even before I finish the trademark process, that I can push the merchandise, you know, to a store, a small store, say, hey, can you have my shirts? Can you know, am I doing that research? Am I doing anything, like, with them 2 days? So it's like, you know what, I got to do better. So like she said, time management. So another area of weakness, like I said, I've been praying on it, and slowly but surely God been helping me, because one thing I'm also learning about time management is, I used to have this thing where I would overwhelm myself, because I would get a day off and I would feel like I had to do everything in that day. Now I'm learning to just do a little bit at a time. You know, even though the Bible says don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today, you also don't have to feel like you got to do everything in one day, because even God didn't do that.
You know, He didn't say do everything today because you can't do nothing tomorrow.
There you go. No. So I'm learning, and then that makes me that brings my anxiety down, because I'm the kind of person where if I feel like I have too much to do, then my mental will want to go the opposite way and do nothing. You know, because then I feel like overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh, and then I just won't do nothing. So I got to kind of do a little bit at a time. I also learned that I operate better, like, with music and stuff, you know. Like, if I got to do laundry or, you know, clean up the house, if I'm talking on the phone or I'm listening to music, I'm like this. If I'm trying to sit there and quiet and do stuff, that doesn't work for me. Like, are you the same way? It's almost like I need a little bit of noise to kind of help me focus better. So you got to know yourself, basically, too, sometimes, and know how you can get stuff done. Was time management ever an issue for you?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh, is it still? Is it still, or?
It is. Okay. It definitely is. I am. Okay. It's hard for me to focus. Like, it takes a lot for me to focus, sit down, do this, get this done. So time management is a big thing for me.
Big issue for you. Okay. See, so I guess we all can work on that. I mean, and then I guess it just comes in spurts. Like, it might not necessarily be that we're just overall bad with time management, but I think everybody just get a little lax and want to kind of goof off, you know, and lose focus here and there. Just get back on track, and then we just gotta keep it moving.
And see, I'm so easily distracted. Like, when I have when my family is home, I get less things done.
Oh,
you know, when I'm by myself or it's late at night, no one's up, it's just me, I can get more things done.
Is that why you be up? Because we be
Yeah.
You be up with me. Like, I see that you read my message. I be like, she up. She done read my message. Like, wow.
Yeah.
So that's funny. So we like night owls. But I told my boyfriend the other day, I said, I feel like the Lord, look, here I go. We on the couch. I'm like, I think that when you call by God, you know, a lot of times, because he's always like, why are you up random times of the night? You know, like he sent me a message, I'm up. And it's like, the Lord be talking to you. And like, don't you feel like that? Like, get you up early in the morning, he be talking. And you're like, do he do that to you? Like, all in my spirit, I'd be like,
yeah.
You know.
I have learned to have a pen and paper
ready to be able to, maybe I should do that.
Randomest,
yeah.
But yet the best ideas.
In your
I
sleep.
get the best motivation and
yes, in your sleep while he quickening your spirit at nighttime. But I think it's because it's like for that moment, because he's so like God. I feel like doesn't even adapted to the busyness of the people in the world. You know, like us here on Earth. Like,
I don't think
you know
so.
what I mean?
I think that.
What do you think it is?
I think that because eventually what you learn is that you do have to slow down. You do learn that, and you hear from him better when you slow down and when you're quiet.
That's true.
But he will give you enough. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He will meet you where you are.
Right.
You know? Like, I know when I get my rest at night and I wake up in the morning and I am refreshed, I can hear from God so clearly throughout the day. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Where it's just working at a little bit, I guess, and not fully at 100%.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And the last myth that she put in this article, I'm sure it's plenty more that we all tell ourselves, but she put, I'm not consistent. I've tried everything and I just can't make this work. And it says, truth, you've been hustling full speed in the wrong direction. It says, you're struggling because you don't have the right processes and systems in place. And I think you kind of touched on that too.
Okay. There is this entrepreneur that I watch named Marcus Lemonis.
Okay.
He comes on MSNBC.
Marcus Lemonis.
And he has a show called The Prophet. When I tell you,
The Prophet?
called The Prophet.
Okay. It's his show.
It's his show.
PROFIT?
PROF, yes.
Okay.
And he is a multi-million-dollar investor. And what he does is he goes to different businesses that they're not doing that well. And he looks at 3 P's. The people, the process, and the product. And based on those 3 P's, he decides to invest. And most of the time, the things that catch people up, the product is good. The product is good. The people have a good heart. Sometimes the people, they don't. And, he has to get rid of people. But most of the time, I would say about 89% of the time, it's the process.
That they don't have one.
That they don't have.
Or they have
Or it's a broken process.
Yeah, okay.
Or it's a process that it worked 40% and they think that's 100%. And you're not really efficient.
Okay.
And that's what I'm going through now.
I like that.
With my business. Okay. This process worked for the first 9 years, but for some reason in year 10, it's not working.
Okay.
Okay. And it's because things change. You change. And then now that you mature, and you have to change the process to make it more efficient. And
so that's what they call it, fine tuning.
And then also sometimes it's a total wiping of the slate.
Okay.
There's so many good mom and pop businesses out there, but they lack a process. They're lacking.
That's
in
where my consultant desire come from. Because like they don't not having the tools. Like you could have all the right ingredients, but if you don't have the right tools, it's like.
Exactly. How you gonna make the cake?
Exactly.
You have the flour, the eggs, and this, but you don't have the bowl,
the oven,
the oven,
the mixing. What is it?
I'm making the cake,
but I'm using the microwave and all of that. Exactly.
And there's a lot of things, a lot of businesses like that out there. So
that can, I guess that,
That's she's right with that.
Okay.
And then what grinds my gears, I can't stand it, is when people they think they're big shots because they have multiple businesses, right? But you got multiple businesses that you can't even give 100% of your attention to, and they're in all different arenas. You got a restaurant, you got a shoe store, you're a real estate agent. you're doing Avon and Mary Kay.
Girl, everything
you know what I'm
under
saying?
the sun. Yeah.
One thing I've learned is have multiple streams of income generating from the same idea.
Okay.
I work with children. Therefore, my multiple streams of income is going to have something to do with children. You want to know why? Because I already have the clientele for it.
Okay.
So I have my daycare and I have my mobile child care services. So therefore, I already have the clientele for it.
Yes.
I'm not starting from the grassroots. I'm not starting all over again.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
If you know,
that's a good note. I hope y'all take it.
Excuse me. So that's a hiccup right there.
Yeah,
yes.
The process. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's
you gotta
a good
have
one.
some good processes in place. So back to the show, and then you mentioned the people. So I think for our last leg of the show, our topic we wanted to touch on the personal relationships. Remember I said hold on to your example. So we're going to talk about personal relationships and businesses. Speaking of the people, because and I was just itching to talk about this. Okay, but that is because as a manager, now granted I'm not the lead manager, I'm an assistant manager. So I still have somebody over me. But still being in management, and I've been doing it almost 3 years, I'm learning. I still try to balance, because when I used to be in my old store, I think I was not personable enough. And I came across like I was on a high horse, like I was separate, and right, and then that caused some type of issues. Then fast forward now in my current position, I have one of my part-times is a female, of course, and now it's like that got too personal, but it's not, I got personal with her. I mean, I would say little things to her here and there, but I never told her all my business. But she would tell me and my manager all her business. So then when it came down to me having to try to buckle down to delegate, and make sure everybody was pulling their weight, then I got kicked back. Now I'm fake. I'm phony. I'm this, I'm that. When all I'm doing is asking you to do the job that you're getting paid to do.
Right.
But my sister was like, see, you let it get too personal, So now it's this conversation, that I have with different people. And it's like, well, how do you be a manager and lead, by example, of course, and then get personal enough, but then not too personal where you got to switch it, But it's like people don't do the switch well, because me and my manager were friends before I came over to work under her. But I quickly learned, okay, we might be still cool, but you're still my manager.
Right.
So I know how to just take what you say and just take it as my manager disciplining me, or my manager giving me an assignment or whatever, and not, you supposed to be friends, so I kind of switched it up real quick, but other people don't know how to do that. So what do you, do you think that there should just be a thin line there to just say no personal at all? Like, how do you say no personal at all without coming across like you think you better than somebody, or you looking down?
I don't think that it could be
whatever.
No personal at all, but I would say that the line would not be thin. The line would be very thick.
Okay.
You will know when you get in tie and when you get in mistie. Okay. Or mistie.
Okay.
The line will be very thick.
Okay.
And you have to let people know that right up front. Let's take care of the shipment first. Let's do this first.
Yeah.
And then, while we're doing the shipment, you can tell me about, what Rashad did and all this other stuff. But we moving fast. We still getting this done.
Yes.
We're still getting this thing done. With my employees in the past, some of them have not always like that.
Okay.
But one thing about me is business is business and personal is personal. Like it's not gonna. I don't take things personally. If it's in the business arena, I'm not gonna take it personally. I even had my my best friend was once my teacher assistant.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I figured if I could work with her and I could correct her and we could still get things done, I could do it to anybody else.
And still be friends.
And we're still friends. She's still my best friend.
I was going to say, y'all still friends. See, okay.
And she totally understood if I have to say, listen, you cannot keep coming in late. I need you to come in on time.
Right.
Or I need you to give me a call. I need, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But hearing you say that, I feel like it's probably a certain level of maturity that would you say that comes along with that for people to be able to, okay.
Because first of all, they need to understand that we are not on the same level.
There you go. Exactly.
We're not. I don't care if you're, I have managed people who were old enough to be my mother. Really.
And I'm sure that was a challenge in an episode
really
too, right? No, it
wasn't.
Good.
You know
why?
Because we're not on the same level.
Right.
You know, when I still call you by Miss So-and-so, I'm still going to respect you. I would never disrespect you as my elder. However, you are, I hate to say this, but you're my subordinate. You're under
in this
me.
situation.
I am your leader.
Exactly.
I would not be doing you a service by allowing you to do what you want to do because I'm supposed to lead you.
There you go.
I'm not helping you.
Exactly. Yeah, you know? I agree.
And I think that once you assert that leadership, they have no choice but to respect you. And if the deal is, if you don't respect me in my position, you have just fired yourself. Because I don't fire nobody. You fire yourself.
Right. We talked about that before.
You know, you let yourself go. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And that's what it comes down to. Because it's like, and like I like what you said when you said that you all can let's get this shipment done. That, and that's the because when she was angry, girl, that's the most work I got out of her in a long time. You know, when we had our little conversation outside. That was the most productive I had seen her be in a while. Cause so I noticed it's like, and I don't know if it's a form of manipulation. Like I don't know what that is.
It may be.
But it's almost like Chatty Patty don't work. So I know when Chatty Patty come to work, I'm not gonna get that much work out of Chatty Patty, right? But when Chatty Patty in one of her moods, then I get work out of her. And like even when because we get our shipment on every Thursday. She was not hardly talking on Thursday, but she was working that truck. The day before and the day after, it's like, so I don't know. It's just, and then she's one of them people where, you know, like when we had our conversation, I said to her, because like I had to tell her the difference between how I feel about her and her work performance and the other employee. Like I had to just be upfront. I said, the issue I have with you is that when I go to tell you something, instead of just switching gears and going to do what I ask you in the moment I ask you to do it, especially if the time allows you to, I got to get, oh, you want me to do that right now? I was going to do that later since I'm here until 4 o'clock. And then I'm doing, you know, it's almost like she want to tell me what she want to do, right? But you know what's so crazy about that? And I had to eat they was talking about humble pie in Queen Esther class on Thursday. Because the girl had the topic about pride. And she kept on talking about humble pie. And I said to them, they was like, so what do you all think about that? I said, I think I'm eating humble pie right now. Because what I see in her, and that's why I just been praying for her lately, is my old self. Before I had matured, you know, to where God has me. Because before I had some managers, I was the same little knucklehead young lady, you know, that I'm just gonna do what I want to do. Like you might tell me, and it's not like blatant, you know, but it was almost like, because I felt like I'm working, I might not be doing the exact work that you telling me to do, but I'm still working. And that's how you kind of rationalize it. So now seeing it from her, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like parenting. Wow. Now I see what people say when they say management is like being a parent. I said, you know how they say when you a parent, what you do to your parents is going to turn around and come back to you. I said, so now that I see this again, I'm like, gosh, I'm getting back all that karma in this one little petite little female here. It's like, wow. Yeah. So, yeah. So I'm like, dang. But now that I have that experience, you know, now you can kind of see it from both sides. So much like a parent, a spiritual parent should do. Instead of just badgering her, right, knowing that she's a little sensitive and can't really take the construction because she's not mature, I pray for her. I've been praying. And I feel like I've been seeing little peaks of change. Because the other day I went to go tell her to do something, and I got that little spirit back that's like, well, right. But then after she finished, because she was doing something at the moment, after she finished that, she came to me, she was on her lunch break. She said, do you want me to go ahead and do what I had asked her to do? Yes. And then she did it. You get them? Yes.
She has, how old is she?
27 or 26, going on 27. Yeah.
She has to be retrained. Not only retrained for her age, but retrained for y'all relationship.
Yeah,
you know? And it's gonna do her well.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to have a 30-year-old employee that they have to stay on. Because working from
listen,
I can't.
And you know that's all and maybe I can't say I wouldn't have that in my work, but I feel like, are you like no tolerance? Like I feel like to a certain extent I'm kind of like no tolerance.
You know why?
For certain things,
because I provide for, and if you my employee before, you can call in. You know, I provide a very healthy, friendly environment for my people. Like you could talk to me about anything.
There you go. That's it.
Anything. So
instead of lying and being dishonest.
Yeah, so that's why I do have a no tolerance. Like I had an encounter.
Can you put the number up real quick, please, Donnell, just in case somebody would like to call in?
So I had an encounter one time with an employee with how she decided to leave, and it was a whole big lie. Like all of it was a big lie. And I had to confront her on it. And I said, we had a relationship. You're in here. You're talking to me about this, that, and that. You didn't think that you could talk to me about other things that she may not have been happy about. You could have. It was an open. It's an open.
That's what I was gonna say. You had an open door type of thing. Yeah.
Yes. So therefore, if you have an issue, don't run off and tell someone else your issue. We have an open communication to do that. So that's why I have a no tolerance.
Right.
Because
there's no reason why.
Right. I ask my people, how was your weekend? What's going on? Give them their agenda, what they're supposed to do. We talk about it. Whatever questions you have, I have a close knit business. So it's like I'm right here at your disposal.
There you go.
So that's why it's a
and
no
you don't
tolerance.
Come across like somebody got to be intimidated. You know, like
no, I'm not that kind of person.
Me neither. And so that's how I felt that time too. Like the whole reason we even got into the conversation was because I asked her to come out, you know, to step aside so that we could talk about it. Because you feel your employees, you get to know them, you know when their energy and you know when something going on. So what's up? Like let's talk. Because clearly you around here, like you putting away the truck, but you throwing this over here and throwing this over here. So clearly you got some type of aggression going on. Let's talk about it.
I had enough.
You know,
like that. I can't do the huffing and
puffing. Yeah. Right.
And I'm like,
or you go to say something to them and they act like they don't hear you. That's even worse. Because now I got to talk louder. Because I know you. I know you hear me. You know. Yeah. So that is. But yeah. So good. I'm glad to hear that because I felt like, dang, maybe this is supposed to be teaching me grace. But like you said, I feel like when it comes to business, so when speaking of being a hustler, certain personalities or lack of maturity or whatever you want to call it, that's a hindrance in the long term. You know, so that's why I feel like I wouldn't have tolerance for certain things in my business because you're a hindrance. It's almost like if you're not working for me or with me, then ultimately you're working against me. Like if we supposed to be a team, but I can't really rely on you to pull your end of the, your end of the bargain and pull your weight, then you slowing the whole, the whole ship down. You know, so it's like, yeah. So I don't know. So but I feel like the sad part is, so back to processes. Sometimes even when you have situations like that, nobody follows it's like in business now with these corporations and companies, of course I can't say who I work for, people watching know some of them, but they don't follow the stuff all the way out to document the stuff properly. And then if it does get documented, it's documented 5 times before somebody could be terminated. So, and then...
But see, these are all lessons for you.
Yeah.
Because I've been there working in places where you're like,
how does this happen?
They should have gone so long ago.
Yes.
She did X, Y, and Z. Why is she still here? You know?
Yeah.
But this is all your training.
Yeah,
this is all your training.
Definitely is.
And I would recommend to the business owner out there, create yourself even a process for when someone is to fire themselves. You create your regulations, and you're gonna abide by it in your business, because it's your name on the line, it's your brand on the line, and you don't want anybody to misrepresent you.
Exactly.
And once they begin to show those signs, if you're not a team player, if you cannot adhere to correction, and you gotta have an attitude. That's one thing I don't do. I don't do attitudes.
Girl.
I don't do attitudes, because I work closely with my people. When I come to work, I want to be in a good space to deal with these children,
and they be in a good space.
And I want you to be in a good space.
Exactly.
If I get attitude, it's not gonna work well. It's not gonna go well. You know.
Yeah.
So,
and it shouldn't be like that, because again, if you are that unhappy, then you should leave.
You should go.
You know, like, this is just not the place for you. Don't come in here funking up the egg with everybody else's egg because you feeling away. You know?
And I would even ask them, are you comfortable, or are you happy with your job position? Is it something else that you would want to do within the company? Because sometimes it's just that, you know, they don't want to do that particular job, and it may not be for them. But they may be really excited about sales. They may be really excited about doing something else. So it's just a matter of changing their job position sometimes.
That's true.
So you try your best to accommodate them within your company, because you want them to be happy as an employee, because then your customers are going to be happy. They're going to serve your customers well.
Right.
But if we have done that, I didn't change you from this job position to that job position. You said that was going to help you. You still have an attitude. You can't leave home at home. You can't come here and be professional.
Right.
You know, you're not being a team player. Then I think that it's time for you to decided to leave.
It's time for you to go. Yeah. Like you said, firing yourself.
But
sometimes it's not even and I get what you're saying, especially in your own business. You can definitely, of course, create a new position. A lot of times I say, like, with my company, it's part-time. Most grown adults need a full-time job. You know, so I feel like some of the dissatisfaction a lot of times come from that. Because people will take a job if they're offered just to have something. Because some money is better than no money. But ultimately, if they can't buy a car, they can't go get an apartment, you know, to move out of their parents' house or whatever they got, that also contributes, you know, to your unhappiness. But then on the flip side, I feel like everybody got to start somewhere. And what some people don't realize, you know how, like, Drake made a song about it, you know, started from the bottom, now we here. Some people don't realize that, like the Bible say, you be faithful over little, then he'll make you ruler over much. But a lot of us don't even know how to be faithful in the small things. So you think that he gonna take you from here to here, when you don't even know how to be content and comfortable and grateful and do what you're supposed to do. Speaking of grinding, right, while you right here, but he's supposed to take you over here. You know, so
see, the grind don't start at the top.
You
have to grind to get to the top.
And then grind to stay there.
Exactly.
And then grind to stay there.
Understand that. They want to start on level 5. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. And then you're looking at, you know, she looking at you, she looking at this person, looking at that person.
Not
they don't know what you've been through. They don't know what you did to get there.
And you know what? It makes you so much more grateful, though, when you do get there. You know, don't it? And I know you don't feel like you all the way there yet, but you better than you were, you know, or better, you know, 10 years ago. Which each level of success, you know, you celebrate, you know, you thank God, you be grateful. Like you said, you come up with a new plan if you have to, you know, fine tune whatever you have, but you keep trying to, like, step up. But even still, it just makes you look back over all that and just be like, man, you know, it's nice to at least make it here. And then I was listening to what you were saying, because I even asked one of the young ladies in my group who started her own business. Like how you said Steve Harvey was saying, start it and then teach somebody else. I feel like the lessons and the little nuggets and stuff that I'm having, the little pieces that God has given me, the little breadcrumbs, you know, once I can finally get that stuff together and then I can actually make some progress, I would love to go back and tell somebody else, you know, and help somebody else with it for free or for a small fee. You know what I mean? Like,
he gonna bring them to you.
Yeah,
he gonna bring them right to your doorstep.
You so know? You have that, And me, I was like, I'm sure I'm one of them.
I tell everybody, you know. And he will bring them right to you, and it'd be like people you never even would have thought of, you know?
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, you just...
But no, I think that's good, because I just think some people need to, you know, hear that. Because I feel like some people will have information. Remember, we talked about that on previous shows. And they just won't tell you. They won't disclose it. They won't. And it's like, why? Like, what is it hurting you to tell me this little piece of information? Which is why sometimes when people tell me stuff, it could be so small. And they're like, oh, that's fine. I did this. And I'm like, thank you. Yeah. And they like, why? Like, they probably thinking, dang, you done said thank you about 5 times. But you be surprised the people you run into that won't share that little bit of information. Like, it costs, like, you know, we talked about that.
Like, like your success is going to personally cost them something.
Yeah. I don't, you know, so I don't know.
But once if you are open book, you know, God is going to send people to pour into you. There
you go. The same way you willing to pour into other people.
Stop the process.
There you go.
You know, why that's me telling you about this class don't hurt me. I got people in my inbox all the time ask me about childcare. Okay. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, and like how to start the business
and how to start. What curriculum do you use? What this and what's that? Now, don't get me wrong. Some things are proprietary. Some things I'll say, you know what, I can't really give that out. That's proprietary to my business, like what my curriculum. But if I use a public curriculum, I'm gonna tell you all about that.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Or if you know about any grants, I guess if they gave grants or anything to some to businesses like that.
Like, what is why?
Right.
You know, it makes no sense to keep information to yourself.
Yeah, and you reap what you sow. You know, even in that aspect, because I know, like, just thinking about money, we talking about, you know, information, but just thinking about my father will always say, you know, my dad is full of, I always say, God forbid something happened to my dad, girl, I got a book to write about little quotes that he done told me, you know, stuff your parents say that you don't even think it's going to sink in, and all of a sudden you be regurgitating it like over the years. But he would say, his father used to say, you know, if you have your hand right and your and you keep your hand closed, right, he'd be like, so can't nothing get out, but can't nothing get in either. Right. You know what I mean? So the same way you sitting there hoarding information from other people, you holding up your own blessings, and what could, you know, a nugget somebody could have to help you get to the next level, because you know, so it's just like each one teach one. Like, you know, you pass it on, somebody pass something to you, and then it just, you know.
So what do you feel about the whole, I don't know if you've experienced people charging for mentorship, or they're charging for coaching and stuff. So, you know, I get that a lot in the child care arena, and I feel some type of way about that. My mother tells me all the time, Taisha, you need to start getting this information out for free. But I'm like, how can I charge for this? This makes no sense to me.
I feel like I agree with you, and maybe that could be a future, you know, like just a brief discussion about that. But I feel the same way. I don't necessarily feel like you have to charge for everything, you know. But I guess if that is your business, you know, like for me, consulting would be my business. But at the same time, I feel like to give some type of teach a free class here and there, you know, or just if I'm on the street giving out information, you know, if I'm on the street, somebody asks me something, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, so you know what, let me just send you this invoice real quick. And then I'll tell you know, like
I know
that I could, you know,
I know people who I have experienced that.
Yeah, that
where you're like, I don't even want to ask you a question because I feel like you're going to send me a bill.
That is,
or you're going to tell me, oh, I can't tell you that. You have to take this class to learn.
Right.
You have to do this to learn it.
Yeah,
and I'm like, it's just a simple question.
That's
you know?
it, yeah. It's just, and it don't take that much time. You know, it's not that, yeah.
You know, I don't get it. You know?
I don't either.
I don't get it.
So maybe we can try to look that up, you know, or give more examples, you know, concrete examples, and even talk about that on another show, because that is kind of crazy. And again, you know, if you want to be a leader, you want to be in a business, and you want to keep it growing and have a good, how can I say this, a good reputation. You know, like you don't want to be known for the person that hoard information, you know, that don't want to help another business owner. Like that's not good for your business either. So, yeah, this was definitely, I like your nails too, by the way. So thank you so much for tuning in to the show. You got any shout outs you want to give? Want to shout out your mommy for Mother's Day?
Hey Mom, happy Mother's Day.
Shout out, look, the whole Walker clan squad. No, but for real, happy Mother's Day, Kayla, Val, Natasha, Victoria, Laura, which is my mom, Mrs. Walker. Those are all the mommies in my family. Oh, and Geraldine Howard, that's my godmommy. Happy Mother's Day.
And to those who have lost their mother,
yes,
you know, just take the time to enjoy the memories that you have with your mom, and we will be praying for the,
absolutely.
You're not motherless. You just lost your mom.
Yes.
You know, and we love you.
We do. We love you. Thank you so much again for supporting us, and have a good night, everybody. Have a good weekend. Happy Mother's Day again.
Happy Mother's Day. All right.